It's not impossible. Yeah, slopes bring a challenge to building, but if you think about 5 things, you can make it a rewarding and enjoyable process and end up with an epic home on a section that nobody thought was usable. Bing asks, is there a sweet spot on a sloping site where a particular angle will yield the best result? Great question, Bing. I look at it less like a sweet spot and more like a jigsaw puzzle where you've got to put these variables together and out comes your puzzle that has been solved with your variables. When you're building a home like this on a slope, I reckon there's 5 things you need to consider to find the optimum design for the section. Obviously you've got your section. Is the road above the site or below the site? This one here in the Korokoro job, the driveway is on the side, and whereas Riverstone House, the road is in front and the section slopes down from the road. That means we can put a slab on the front and we can hang the back of the house off that. Also, the gradient on the Riverstone section is gentle enough that we can get it all on one level. Then you look at the orientation of a few things. Where is the view? And also more importantly, where is the sun? And those, how'd you get out? And those things will dictate what you design for your slope. We look at the gradient of the slope. Is it a gentle 1 in 10 or is it a really sharp 45-degree angle or more? The angle dictates how much do you cut out of the hill and how much do you build out on a subfloor. The steeper it gets, you can't go out as much, so you have to go up or terrace or stack, and the stacks will still follow the shape of the land. Real basic, draw a line, start putting a bunch of boxes in there and work out, you know, box 1 is your garage, box 2 is your living, box 3 is your bedrooms. Can you get all 3 of those boxes on one long line like we're doing on the Curtin Drive site? Or like I've done on the section nobody wanted in here, the angle is like this and you do basement in here and you do living up here. If it was like this, you would go 1, 2, 3. You don't want to do like gnarly earthworks unnecessarily, but you also want to push into that bank a little bit. You want to use the space under your house, then you build up on top of that. You're just trying to create level platforms. So look at your angle, what's the best way? Do you get the level platform in here or do you get the level platform in here? We've mentioned a couple of times this site here is very similar to the section nobody wanted. The owners of this house actually watched me build my house on the section nobody wanted. Very similar slope, very similar parameters, and they'd worked out, hey, if you can do that on your section in Silverstream, what can we do on this piece of land that is sat empty in Korokoro for ages? We've got a plan, we've got it underway, and I can't wait to walk out on the floor there and look at the harbour and see it all come together. It's going to be an amazing spot, so cool to utilise this empty, overgrown piece of land that has sat here for years. So keep watching, follow along, and it'll be the section nobody wanted part 2. What size house do you want? If your slope's like this and you just want 2 bedrooms, it's really easy to build it up. You just plonk it there and it's done. Whereas if you want a huge house, or you've got like a specific need you're building around your family, or you also look at the area you're building in. When we did the section nobody wanted, we're surrounded by a bunch of larger family homes. It makes sense to build to suit your area. The size of house that you need to build or want to build dictates how are you going to use that slope. It dictates whether you're going to have multiple levels or you can just get it all on one level. If you've got all the money in the world, we can solve that problem in really easy ways. If you're like most people and you've got a limited budget, we need to work with those other 4 variables and your 5th variable, the budget, and make it all work. It's not impossible. Yeah, slopes bring a challenge to building, but if you think about those 5 things, you can make it a rewarding and enjoyable process and end up with an epic home on a section that nobody thought was usable. Anyway, I'm off to Smoko. Sam's new iPhone, don't drop it. Have you got a glass on it? You do.
Yeah.